Not only are we looking for somebody, but we're looking for some bodies to run this truck race tonight. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the SRN. I'm Sean Fitz, alongside producer John Long, bringing you all the action here at Michigan for the Mason-Dixon Racing Series truck drivers here at Michigan. Hope you're having a great Saturday night. A little bit of a quick race here at Michigan to get the blood flowing after Cup and Xfinity today. Hope everybody's having a great one. Again, watching live on the SRN. If you're new to the network, make sure you get connected with us. You can head on over to Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, get subscribed, follow, and all that, all the good stuff there. Everything you need to do to get connected with the SRN, make sure you do so. We've got some exciting street stock racing coming tomorrow with the Mason-Dixon Racing Series. You're not going to want to miss out on that. But in the meantime, we've got some truck drivers getting ready to go green flag here at Michigan. 30 laps around this racetrack. Very fast Michigan. These drivers are going to be feeling the speed pretty much all the way around. We're going to take a look at our starting grid tonight. These drivers get ready to go green flag. Greg Wood's going to start on the pole. James Batser's going to start second. Greg Wood Jr. is going to start third. Garrett Marshall fourth. Chad Grant's going to round out the top five. Ian Good's going to start sixth. Andrew Frelling is going to start seventh. We watched him race last night as well. Greg Petra is going to start eighth. And then the ninth place tonight, Kyle Harbin is going to round out this 9-truck field. This is an invitation-only group tonight versus last night's open action. Should see some pretty good racing as these drivers are pacing around Michigan here tonight in iRacing. Again, 30 laps tonight here at Michigan for these drivers. In the trucks, Michigan, a very fast racetrack. A lot of speed in this track and a lot of opportunity to get side by side. Very spread out opportunities here. And we'll see these drivers use it to the fullest here in just a few moments. We should see Greg Wood Sr., James Batser on that front row get ready to go green flag. The pace car is going to duck down pit road here in just a moment. There you see it. Pace car is going to duck down. And we're going to get the green flag. Right there, green flag is out for Mason-Dixon Racing Series action at Michigan. Oh, we've got a wreck already on the racetrack. And it looks like the 7 of Chad Grant involved. I believe we're trying to figure out who that other truck back there was. Is James Batser. We thought we would see some more green flag laps here tonight. We're under caution here on lap 2 of Michigan of 30. We're going to step away for just a moment. You're watching the SRN. Pace car lights are off on that Ford Mustang. We're gonna get ready to go back green flag racing here on lap 5. Greg Wood and Greg Wood Sr. on the front row. Pace cars down pit road. And the green flag is out. Able to make it through turn 1 here without an incident. As you see, Ian Good ducked down to the bottom there. In the meantime, Greg Wood Jr. out front by 2 truck lengths over Greg Wood Sr. as they roll through turn 3 and 4. Further back there is Greg Petra, who is 0.7 of a second back right now as they complete their first lap under green. The action's heating up back here towards the back. That's Garrett Marshall, Kyle Harbin, Andrew Frelling, and others back here tying it, wrapping it around here. And the 7 truck involved in that caution earlier, showing 1 lap down, working his way around a couple of these drivers. This is the fight right here for 3rd and 4th. That's Garrett Marshall, Ian Good. Marshall able to break away for 4th. Ian's going to settle into 5th. As they come across the stripe here for lap 6. Two drivers up front here running nearly identical lap times. Greg Wood Sr. just a tick faster that last time by. But you're seeing these, them get runs on each other back and forth here. The draft certainly in play here at Michigan. This racetrack lends to these drivers getting runs, as you see Greg Wood Sr. there make a drive up to the bumper, nearly to the door of Junior as they come across the stripe there side by side. Greg Wood Sr. able to pull off the fastest lap of the race right there with that draft. He's going to slide across the nose of Greg Wood Jr. and take the lead momentarily, but he may lose it here on the backstretch as that run is underway. Junior again on the bumper here. In the meantime, Greg Petra is looking for an opportunity to get caught up with these drivers as they work their way out of 3 and 4. Senior on the roll now, running about a lane lower off the wall. Junior doing everything he can to get the RPMs up in that Toyota Tundra to get by. He's starting to fall back, nearly 2/10 back. You're not missing a whole lot of anything out back here. Andrew Frelling, Chad Grant, 7th and 8th right now. Ian Good is settled into 6th. James Batzer involved in that first caution alongside that lap truck of Chad Grant. That's not for position. He's just trying to get by here so he can go after Garrett Marshall. The lead starting to heat up once again as Junior starting to get a run on Senior as they work their way into 1. Down the backstretch, that draft in full effect as Junior starts to run down Senior as they complete lap 10 of 30 here tonight at Michigan for the Mason-Dixon Racing Series. You're gonna see Junior poke outside just a little bit. Had the big run coming. In the picture now, Greg Petra is up with these two drivers. As the Greg Wood Jr. and Senior side by side heading off into 1. Junior able to muscle by on the outside using that draft. Petra, he's in the picture as I mentioned now. He's going to look on the right side. of Senior through 3. Not going to be able to make it happen. He's going to slide up the track just a little bit. And Greg Wood Jr. is going to inherit the lead on lap 11. Petra driving down to the bottom of the racetrack along that apron. Trying to find the shortest way around Michigan here. It's the first time we've seen a driver do that tonight. These top 3 drivers started to break away from Garrett Marshall, who's 1.3 seconds back. This is a fight for the top 3. Been fairly dominated by Greg Wood Jr. and Greg Wood Sr. You see that Greg Petra, the top 3 Gregs. Petra's going to drop down back on the apron again, but not ride it as long as he did last lap. As you see Senior now trying to make a move on the bottom. Again, using the shortest way around Michigan here, while Junior is going to use that middle lane, trying to keep the speed up, and you're going to see that really come into effect here as they merge back onto the backstretch. And Senior is going to remain on the bottom, but he's going to have Petra on the outside now as they work into 3. In the meantime, Junior's out front by 2 or 3 truck lengths. Starting to break away while Petra fights on the outside of Senior through 4. Single filed out now here as we approach the halfway point of tonight's 30-lap event. Coming into the picture here, able to run back into this race just a little bit. That's Garrett Marshall, showing he's got a little bit of speed in that truck as these drivers fight it out up front. He's starting to make gains back up as the first, as the top 3 drivers start to spread out. That's Greg Jr. versus Greg Petra, and then Greg Wood Sr. in 3rd. Petra, he's been on the move that last time by 2/10 faster than Senior up front in that lead spot. Garrett Marshall also showing about identical lap times, actually faster lap times than Greg Petra. He's going to be in the mix in no time here, as we are officially past halfway for tonight's event. Mason-Dixon Racing Series proud to bring you Michigan trucks here tonight at an invitation-only event. This was supposed to take, for tonight's event was supposed to be qualifying, as we see the lead change happening here. Petra goes back down to the bottom. It looked like Junior had a wobble up top. He's going to lead that last time by, but Petra's going to be right at the door as they go off into 1. And you're going to see Garrett Marshall. He is fully back into the picture now as he works away around Greg Wood Sr. for 3rd. But this race is actually taking place in replacement of the street stock qualifying that was supposed to take place for tomorrow's street stock showdown for the Mason-Dixon Racing Series. You want to find out more information about that series, you can head on over to Facebook, do a search for Mason-Dixon Racing Series. Greg Wood Sr.'s really fallen off the pace, back to 4th. Now you see Greg Wood Jr., Greg Petra, Garrett Marshall in the top 3. Marshall running fairly quick lap times to get caught back up with these drivers, as Petra is going to dive into the bottom. Marshall's going to be there with him. They're side by side for the lead. It looks like Petra's going to lead that lap. That bottom is certainly the quickest way around this racetrack from a shortest distance perspective, but being able to keep the RPMs in these lower horsepower Gander Mountain trucks is going to be really important, as you've got these 3 Toyotas fighting it out down the backstretch. Petra on the bottom, Greg Wood Jr. on the top. And Greg Petra. Sorry, yeah, and Greg Petra rather on the bottom there. Garrett Marshall in 3rd. Better get that figured out there. And you're going to see Petra. He's going to lead another lap here as he's going to hold that bottom nice and strong. He's the first driver to really use the apron tonight. Very tight, but he's going to lead that last lap. Garrett Marshall's going to ride behind Greg Woods Sr. as caution is out on the racetrack. It looks like Ian Good is off the pace in the bottom of turn 2. Let's go take a look here and find out exactly what occurred. Looks like he was under power coming across the front stretch. Oh, you see that puff of smoke. It looks like he blew up. It's probably due to the damage from the wreck earlier tonight. And that's going to bring the caution out here on lap 20. We're going to go back green flag racing with about 7 laps to go. Again, you're watching the Sim Racing News Network. We're going to step away here for 30 seconds or so while these drivers get caught up with the pace car. If you are just now tuning in, thanks so much for being here tonight. You're watching Mason Dixon Racing Series on the Sim Racing News Network across all 3 streaming platforms, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. As I mentioned, we're going to step away here while under caution. You're watching the SRN. Pace car lights are off as we're getting ready to go green flag racing to wrap up caution number 2 of tonight of 30 laps here in Michigan. the Mason-Dixon Racing Series. Greg Wood Jr., your leader. All the lead pack came down pit road. Greg Petra's going to start on the outside of row 2. Junior's going to pick the bottom line. This is going to bring several drivers back into the mix here. Everybody on new tires. Going to go green flag with 7 to go. Pace car is going to duck down. And there you see it. Junior gets him rolling on the bottom. Big jump. He's going to gap Petra now by about 5 truck lengths. In the meantime, Garrett Marshall, Greg Sr. is going to try to get back into the mix. We're also going to see Andrew Frelling on the bottom for the first time in the top 5 tonight. Top 3 drivers spread out fairly evenly as they work their way through turn 2 down the backstretch here in Michigan. A little bit of side-by-side action back here. That's Andrew Frelling. Chad Grant, who was our lucky dog, he's back on the lead lap. This is in position now. Frelling's going to try and slide up. Grant's going to slide up with him. He's right there. Frelling going to duck down on the apron, trying to get as much speed as he can. In the meantime, Greg Wood Jr. trying to rip the outside. Petra was back on the apron as he's been doing. See Greg Wood Sr. running that very bottom groove. Chad Grant on the move, though. Trying to break the draft back there for Petra. Greg Wood Jr. out in front by 3 truck lengths. As these drivers work to complete lap 24. Little side-by-side action. This is Ian Good and Andrew Frelling. It looks like top 3 trucks here really starting to get tightened up. That's Garrett Marshall in 3rd, Greg Petra in 2nd, Greg Wood Sr. Jr. rather. Still out in the lead, but Senior's on the move. We're gonna be 3 wide for 2nd as Senior sends it on the bottom. Pushes Garrett Marshall up top. Chad Garrett now involved. Or sorry, Chad Grant involved. Chad Grant up to 3rd. That was wild through 4 there as Greg Wood Sr. really got involved. Sending Garrett Marshall on back to 5th. Again, trying to break that draft. You see Junior drive down the racetrack, down the backstretch. Petra now following him, trying to get that run. One truck length as Petra ducks down on the apron. Chad Grant's moving with him. 4 laps to go here at Michigan. Petra, Wood, side by side for the lead. Sliding back up there. Petra gets turned. And caution's gonna be out. With just 4 to go here at Michigan. Believe that's gonna be on Chad Grant, but let's go back and take a look on that replay. Chad Grant in the 7 truck. Keep an eye on him here. Yeah, it looks like he just ran right into the bumper there of Petra, who was having a strong run. Driving right through Petra. I'm not quite sure what that was about there. In the meantime, though, caution's going to be out, and I believe we're going to see some overtime. We're going to step away here one more time, bring you back for the finish. You're watching the Mason-Dixon Racing Series right here, the Sim Racing News Network. Pace car lights are out here for tonight's first attempt at a green-white checkered finish for tonight's 30-lap race here at Michigan for the Mason-Dixon Racing Series. This last caution started with Chad Grant getting into the back of Greg Petra, who is now falling back to 6th, who was racing up front most of the night here. It's going to give Greg an opportunity to get back up front and see what he can do. Well, Chad Grant, who has been involved in a couple of incidents tonight, is going to start on the outside of the front row. Pace car's gonna duck down. They're getting ready to go green flag. Big drive up through the middle of the field. Batzer made it 3 wide. They were trying to get by. I believe that was the 11 truck of Frelling. And they're 3 wide once again. That's Petra on the outside. Trying to get through by Garrett Marshall. He's alongside Chad Grant. And they're gonna pinch Chad Grant coming through. Oh, and of course, another wreck off of turn 2. And caution's back out once again. And Greg Petra looks like he's gonna be cleaned out for tonight. Looks like James Batzer is also gonna be done. Chad Grant appears to have had to tow there as well. Just like that, Greg Wood Jr., Greg Wood Sr. out front once again here, as this is the second attempt at a green-white checkered. Looks like we've got 5 trucks left running. This is not to the SRN standard by any stretch of the imagination, and hopefully we see some cleaned up action on the track here soon. Pace car is going to drop down pit road.
Green, green, green.
And the green flag is back out for the second attempt at a green-white checkered. This race is going to come down to Greg Wood Jr., Greg Wood Sr., and Garrett Marshall. Top 3 trucks here are the quickest. See Junior able to break away out front a little bit. Garrett Marshall on the outside of Senior as they work their way through 3, or work their way to 3 rather. Greg Wood Senior is going to fall back. White flag is going to be out. Greg Wood Jr., Garrett Marshall. Greg Sr. is going to really send it in there. He's going to miss it, though. Slide across the rear bumper of Garrett Marshall. He's going to get one more run at it. As these drivers are wiggling all down the backstretch, trying to avoid the draft. Getting caught up here. After a little bit of overtime, Greg Wood Jr. is going to be scored your winner. These drivers get these trucks slowed down here. Let's take a look at our running order as we've completed tonight's event. Greg Wood's going to lead, or be scored your winner tonight. Garrett Marshall second. Greg Wood Sr. third. Ian Good fourth. Andrew Frelling rounding out the top 5. James Batzer, Chad Grant, Greg Petra, Kyle Harbin. Gonna round out the remainder of the field here. We're gonna go ahead and step away from tonight's coverage. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, as I mentioned, the last 2 nights of racing action have just not been up to the SRN standard, and we're gonna evaluate that moving forward. We do appreciate you tuning in, and when we appreciate Mason-Dixon Racing Series for bringing us on board for tonight's broadcast. Greg Wood is going to burn it down on the front stretch. You're not going to want to miss any of the action coming up in the next couple weeks, so make sure you give us a follow, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Follow, subscribe, get connected, and we'll see you tomorrow for more racing action right here on the SRN.